It is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to RRF1 Elite League. This is where the big boys play. As they say, we have got ourselves a field of 15 with a debutant of VSR Thomas. Welcome into the league, my man. But anyway, guys, today is round 5, of course. We are here at Spain's second city, the city of Barcelona, for the Catalonia Grand Prix, Spanish Grand Prix, of course, held in Catalonia, forgive me. And, of course, as I've said, 15 drivers here. Cookie Chip, AJ, Smoke Spaceman, Bingley, Skillen, Haynes, to the max. Bravo, Swanee, Towley, VSR Thomas, as I said, making his debut. Psych in the second McLaren. Clutchy, Championship leader Robbo, and K77 Matt are the competitors for today's field. It's going to be a very, very interesting one, of course. 2 races have gone down already this week at Spain. 3 if you count our partner league, CSR. And of course, we are, of course, brought to you as well in conjunction with Formula 1 news and memes. And Sniper AJ has literally just come online as well, so hopefully we can get him in for the end of the race. Fingers crossed somebody brings him in, that'll be good. But we do have, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, 15 drivers, all very, very capable of pulling off a very, very good result. I've just had a green light shine on my screen then. What the fuck was that about? But anyway, solo in tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I like a good old solo commentary. It is the way I like to go. But, of course, Spanish Grand Prix history. First race was back in 1991, an iconic moment with Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna running side-by-side, sparks flying down the main straight. Also, as well, if you look back at kind of a bit more of a modern race, 96, you had Schumacher's masterclass in the rain in what I would consider to be a shite Ferrari. Probably the 3rd fastest car on the grid. He pulled that off and hit one of the most legendary wins of all time. Of course, you got the demigod as well, Pastor Maldonado. Somehow he fucking won a race. God fucking knows how. Jesus Christ, but he did. And he did well. Hopefully we can have something very, very similar here in that region. Psych is watching. Thank you very much for watching, buddy. He is, of course, one of our participants today, and he is informing us that we have an overcast race. Of course, anything can really happen there. We're just waiting now for Haynes and Smoke Spaceman both to retire the cars, and then we will, of course, be able to get our asses moving. But obviously my prediction for this particular race, as I've seen it, there are 2 paces already from last night's race. Robbo and Towley will of course be fighting up there. You know, Rob came through having a really, really good race. Of course, had a little bit of a lull crash last night in the CSR race. But I've seen all these guys' paces around here. Well, most of many. Obviously, VSR Thomas is a complete genuine unknown to me, but I've been told he's a very, very quick driver and doesn't run assists, so this should be quite an interesting one. It's called Team No Assists. Is Team McLaren. If we look back at last week's race, guys, it was literally a case of survival of the fittest, and we had a rare mistake by Robbo, but it still didn't cost him the win, as Towley, I believe, had wing damage literally right after it, as we are just waiting on Haynes to retire the car, and then we are literally a go for the important qualifying. This is going to be a very, very interesting qualifying, considering the fact that people... Well, there will be 5 people eliminated from Q2 for the first time in a while in our league, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see who is going to be down there at the end. And Haynes does retire the car. And no, I got experience through the screen. That is a new form of experience, as far as I'm aware. But there we go. So, Force India of Cookie Chip, and of course his teammate Robbo, a formidable partnership. Cookie needs to have a good race. We were talking about before. He needs his fortunes to change around. Whether it will or not is another question, but of course it will, as we did say, remain to be seen. So VSR Thomas has been brought into the Elite League, of course, guys. It's going to be very interesting to see what he can do. The likes of Swanee, who I believe has scored points in every single outing so far. This is going to be a good one for him. I believe that To the Max does have a 5-second penalty tonight as well, unfortunately for him. But of course that will be affecting his race time. With a bit of luck for himself, he will be hopefully with it more than 5 seconds away, so it won't really affect him. But a little bit of a bit of an incident there. Obviously the guys ruled it as a 5 seconds, so it is what it is. Right then, here we go. 15 drivers. Who's going to be the first one out on track? Let's have a little butchers. Usually, well, I say usually, I'm looking at the wrong bloody division, because I was about to say usually it's one of the Saubers, but AJ and Towley usually do go out on an installation lap. You see Ferrari activity. It's either Bingley or Swanee. And there is a car coming down the pits. Who is that? And we are going to get first sight of Zini coming out on track for the Spanish qualifying 2 session. So here we go then. Syke has been having somewhat of an inconsistency. He's obviously a lot of incidents in the Azerbaijani Grand Prix, kind of rendered him a little bit asunder sort of thing in a way. But Of course, this track is very brutal on tyres, as all of the guys in the F3 and F2 races both found out, of course. Myself personally, I didn't make it to the the point of a pit stop, which would have been nice to see, or nice to happen. It's like there with the lockup, of course, one of the few drivers who run no assist, so it's going to be interesting to see how the comparison between himself and the remaining other drivers are. So we currently have got 5 drivers out on track. We have Towley, Swanee as well, and Johnny Bravo. I believe it's going to be Johnny Bravo, and where are we looking? Johnny Bravo, and then, so Syke and Johnny Bravo is the way we're going to be going in terms of the running order. Let's have a look and see what Syke can do. We've got a 17 for pole position in F2, so it'd be interesting to see what these guys can do. I'm expecting probably an incredibly low 17, but maybe even pushing a 16 if we get a really top lap in. So let's have a little look and see what we are going to get tonight then, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not followed our channel, or if you ever want to race in our league potentially, if you're watching this from afar, please make sure that you visit our Facebook, www.facebook.com/RRF1. So sector 3 we have a yellow flag. I'm not sure if that's actually a crash or not, we'll just double check. I don't think it is. So there's Bravo coming around, but we're going to get on board with Syke Zaney for the first time lap of the Elite League Spanish Grand Prix. So here we go, coming around turn 3 now. A very tricky corner to get right. Syke doing a really good job. This is the sort of time when you really want to be running on the wheel. If you run on the wheel around this track, I know we've got a couple of exceptions like Robbo, who really hangs it really nicely. Lots of reallys in that sentence. But yeah, here we go. So Syke Zaney is coming around now, sector 2. Very smooth sector 1. Sector 2, for this is what I consider to be the pad users track, and the pad users part of the course, should I say then. Syke comes down now, he comes around the blind, flat out right into turn 9, going onto the DRS straight. He is, as you see, it's almost like a blind, it's a flat line, there's no elevation in this straight at all, but the way that the turn 10 sort of hairpin turns up to you, it almost gives you the feeling that, you know, you have no idea when to brake in a way. Obviously using the marker boards really well there, coming around turn 12 really nicely, and the tricky complex. This is going to be a killer for those of you who aren't running assists, of course, but traversing it in a very safe way will get you where you want to go. So come around the final corner, Syke Zaney. Let's see what sort of lap time he does to get us sorted, and it's immediately in with an 18.4. That is how to start off a qualifying session. Johnny Bravo coming around now, also on the medium tyres. There's a Force India just in front of him. Bravo does a 1:19.0, so currently just over 6 tenths behind Syke Zaney. So we've got a couple of guys. And Towley's just jumped in with an 18.3. Very interesting. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Didn't quite catch that was Swanee coming around now. He's just gone straight onto the softs, no messing around from Swanee. He is going to be running around. What will Swanee do? 18, it is an 18.7. Going to be interested to see whether that's going to be enough. Sector 3 yellow flag, unsure of what's happened there. We're going to go on board with Matt. I believe he is also on a flyer now. What can Matt come around and do? Is it going to be an install lap, so to speak? I don't think so. He's gone pretty quick, and he's got himself in with a 1:18.4, also just behind Syke Zaney, 300ths of a second down Max, an 18.7, 400ths of a second ahead of Swanee. Guy's looking very close. Obviously he's on the slower tyre than Swanee, but obviously those of course remain to be seen, and you see Bingley there very nicely moving out of the way, letting some of the other runners do the lap. Skillen is going to be on a flyer, and Robbo, I believe, is on his flying lap now, coming around sector 3. We'll go on board as he does that. Let's have a look what Robbo can do. So he's currently got an 18.3 to match up against. Will Robbo be able to get Towley in this case? I'm not sure if he will or not. Let's have a little look. He won't be happy with that, Robbo. 18.4. In fact, he's in 3rd position. Syke's still in 2nd position as this standing dictates at the moment. Let's go and see I think Smoke Spaceman outlap, and Bingley also. So those two. And I've turned the fucking telemetry off. What a twat. So here comes Cookie Chip then. He's coming around. I believe it was about a second up on his first initial time. So let's see what he can do. Cookie Chip then coming. Oh, he's coming to the pits, so he can't do anything. AJ and Skillen, I believe, is just behind him. Skillen having a really strong showing at this particular juncture in the season. He's been very inconsistent, but when he's had pace, he's been up there fighting with the top guys. Here comes AJ and puts himself in 3rd, the 4th, 1:18.4. Syke, AJ, Robbo and Matt, the 4 drivers who are all literally there together at the same time. Skillen comes around the final corner. What can Skillen do? Skillen hits us with 1:18.8. Not the best lap. He will not be very happy with that. He will most likely have to have another go. Bingley is just starting his fly now. We'll get on board with Bings, who, in his own words, well, he's had 1 podium in 4 races, an absolutely shocking season for the former 2-time SF1 champion. But of course, this is a new league. Hopefully we'll be able to see him actually begin to improve, or his form improve, over the course of the coming weeks, especially when we've got Monaco coming up. Good luck with that. So, on we go then, ladies and gentlemen. 12th, 9 drivers have set a timed lap so far. Literally 7/10 between the entire field. It is mighty close, and Skillen in the background having a bit of a dodgy moment there. Skill is really pushing in the background there. Hopefully he has had disconnection and connection issues, shall we say, in the last few weeks. Hopefully that will not rear its ugly head, and we'll be able to see Skillen complete the full distance also. Bingley is looking very controlled here in this particular, like he's not running. He's one of the kind of drivers who likes to flick. Me personally, I'm one of these guys who just kind of almost out of laziness. Oh, Bingley rode that curve very heavily there. Now that may not cause him any problems, but we'll see when he comes around the corner. What will Bingley's lap time be? It is that's an awakening, 1 minute 18.1. Welcome to the party, Bingley. So Clutchy is starting his lap. Smoke Spaceman is on a flying lap also. What can Smoke do? Another guy who's had a very up and down season. 1 good result so far only. Is very, very disappointing for himself. And what can Smoke do? So we've got 10 drivers coming in, so we're going to get our first driver into the drop zone here. And it's actually Smoke Spaceman with a pretty poor lap with a 1 minute 20.0. He will not be happy with that. However, I believe he will be going around for a second run, a second bite of the cake here. So here comes Smoke then. What will he be able to do on this second lap? But as we're watching Smoke, we're going to take a quick flick over to his teammate Clutchy, who looked very, very loose going through 7 and 8 there. Oh, bloody hell, Clutchy really, really loose in the car, but he's still going around. Of course, Clutchy, bit of a shout out for him at one of the 3 admins in the RRF1 Project Cars series, which is going to be starting very, very soon. Of course, guys, if you want to check that out, there is a Facebook page to that also. Search RRF1 Project Cars on Facebook to be able to enjoy and race some of the old classic circuits and some of the craziest cars that have probably ever been bleeding invented. Clutchy very loose around that final corner, but a solid 1 minute 19.0. I know he'll be able to go quicker than that on the soft tyre. So at the moment it is simply Smoke Spaceman. Cookie Chip is not going out for... Well, he did go out, of course, sorry, but VSR Thomas and Haynes are both not... yeah, there you go. As soon as I say that, Haynes literally then is going round and starting his out lap, so he's just left the pit lane, and you see all the guys now switching over to the super soft tyre, or the soft tyre, forgive me, and Smoke Spaceman only hits a 19.3, another scruffy lap it would seem for Smoke, not really enjoying life in the Red Bull as we speak. So there is, I believe, one of the Salbers, it is Towley going around for his customary second lap, so Towley not opting to start on the medium tyres. Bingley at the moment is on the mediums. Mediums do go roughly, depending on your tyre life, obviously myself, I'm not really an indicator of that, but medium tyres go, I'd say about, should we say a safe 18 laps, 19 depending on strategy, for example. So we're going to get off the pit lane now, just waiting for VSR Thomas, and we've still got about 5 minutes left, so a long time to go here for people to jump in and get their lap times in and their second runs in. I believe the first one to do so is Sykes-Ainey, so he's actually come around on the mediums again. Curious. I think he's gone for literally a 1 lap burst here. So Syke is going to be going out on the mediums. He's already done 2 time laps on these, so technically 2 in laps, 2 out, 2 in laps. Sorry, 2 out laps and in lap and 2 flyers. What can Syke do on this lap then? He gets himself into provisional pole position, top of the Q2 charts at 1 minute 17. We're in the 17s on mediums. High hopes for a rampant time round here. I believe Bravo is... Oh, Mike's crackle again, guys. I do apologise. I think Towley actually is the next guy to go. Yes, he is. So we're going to get on board with Towley. He's been very, very consistent since his Melbourne mishap. Doing a damn fine job so far. Second in the championship, of course. There is only 2 people over 25 points in the championship. It's been very, very, very mix and match below. Some people doing really well, some races, others having mishaps. As I mentioned earlier, Cookie Chip and another guy's AJ both feel they should be a lot higher up in the championship than what they are. But of course, with racing, anything can happen, and those 2 are 2 of said individuals who have had a lot of issues in terms of just minor incidents like collisions, spins, etc. kind of catching all of them out. So Towley coming around then round turn 9, going on to the back straight DRS again. So what can Towley do on this particular lap? It doesn't actually give a... Oh, that's really, really annoying. It doesn't give a time comparison with this previous lap. That's one thing I think it should do. Towley, of course, is on the soft tyre. I'm expecting a mid-17 here, barring mishap. Thank you very much for watching, guys, tonight. And obviously, for those of you who are watching it at a later date via Twitch or YouTube, thank you very much, and follow and subscribe, whichever way you want to go about it. Right, so it is then Towley time. He goes in with a 1 minute 17.5 on the soft tyres. That is rather fast. Haynes actually did a 1 minute 18.0, so only half a second down on Towley in what is rather a stonking lap, to be fair, on the softs, of course. Q3 still to come. Right, let's have a little look here. So we do have Matt, actually, once again. We've caught all the Matt on his flying lap for the second time. Very rare for me to catch 2 people at once. So here comes Matt, 1 minute 17. He hits on 1 minute 17.8. Only 3 tenths down on Johnny Bravo with a matching 17.8. Literally 200s between them two. Haynes Syke, of course, is... I'm not sure, is he going to be starting on the softs or the mediums? I'm unsure what he wants to do. Track, of course, getting very, very busy as people are looking to set in their flying laps. Of course, we've got Clutchy and Smoke Spaceman both still not gone out for their second installation runs. Another flash of purple light this time. You've literally got about 30 seconds to get yourself out, at least at this stage, because of how slow the bloody garage is. VSR Thomas, we're going to be checking up on him very soon as well. And Robbo does a 17.2 on softs. That is rather impressive, if I do say so myself. And Haynes retires, so Haynes, I believe that's him in the pit lane just retiring there. Is that going to be enough for him, to be honest with you? Most likely, because only 2 drivers at the bottom. And Bingley isn't coming out, so Bingley is taking a hella risk here. I think this might be Bingley. Remains to be seen. Oh, we see a Ferrari driver. Let's go out quick. And that is actually Swanee, I believe. No, it is Bingley. Bingley's coming down the pit lane now. And let's have a look, see if anyone else is on a time lapse. Skillen is on an out lap to the max. It's an 18.7. Nope, that was his medium time. Forgive me, guys. Sometimes it is a little bit dodgy, this fucking thing. AJ is, of course, out lap. Robbo flying out. I think Syke has done his time up. I think that should... Oh, no, that's his medium time. Sorry, forgive me again. So Syke is going to be going onto the soft tyre to see what we can do. Towley, of course, I believe. He thinks that's good enough. I believe so, too. Both Ferraris have gone out. Smoke Spaceman is out on track. He'll get round. No Clutchy. So Clutchy is the only guy who is confirmed eliminated at this stage. Let's have a look at VSR Simon. VSR Simon, I'm thinking of the other guy. It's VSR Thomas. Fucking hell. You know when you spend too much time on fucking time trial imagining that you're as good as them, I tell you. So VSR Thomas, I'm not sure he's going to enjoy that fucking comparison. He might love it, I don't know. It might be best mates, it might be worst enemies. Swanee doing very, very nicely there to get out of the way. As Thomas then comes around. This is weird saying my own name, ladies and gentlemen, as a as a gamer tag. I promise I'll get his name right next time. So we have then, let's have a look at Rara. Rara is here, Big Hairy Jock. Jock, thank you so much for Friday night again, once again, my man. Twitch.tv/Big Hairy Jock, his first ever stream. Skillen goes into third with a 1 minute 17.7. That's a rather tasty lap by Skillen. And VSR Thomas with a 17.4. Hello, Sailor. This guy's pretty decent, it seems. AJ with a 17.2, matching Robbo. Oh, have we got some competitivity here now, people? I like this. Maybe more than a 2-horse race that we feared at one stage. Even though 2-horse race is still good. Syke with a 17.2 beats Robbo. There's a few people looking very, very tasty, as we said. Syke Zaney there. Always very, very, very good on a 1 lap pace session. It's sometimes when he gets involved with other people, that's sometimes where he can fall over. What a stunning lap that is, a 1 minute 17.2. 3 people with 17.2s. Amazing. 500 of a second between first and third. This is the stuff that competitive racing is all fucking about. But Bingley is currently sitting in the drop zone, as is Smoke Spaceman. Smoke potentially held up there. Cookie Chip is not going out. Cookie Chip's not out. Cookie Chip is coming out in 15th. He's starting at the back. So we go back on board with Bingley. Can he improve? If he doesn't, then he is eliminated. Both Ferraris, both Red Bulls in the drop zone. Clutchy and Cookie Chip are both eliminated, of course. Bingley goes 5th with a 17.5, just ahead of Towley. That gets the job done for him. And to the max, he may be taking a risk here. Swanee coming round again for one final time. Swanee's really, really good. Usual 1 lap pace. He gets himself in, and that's a 7th. It was 18.6. It wouldn't have been good enough anyway, but it is an improvement on his time. Smoke Spaceman has eliminated Johnny Bravo. Smoke Spaceman gets himself in a 8th position. One of the Haas drivers is eliminated. Bravo takes the fall for Smoke's improvement. What a clutch lap there by Smoke Spaceman. So the eliminated guys are Johnny Bravo, Haynes, Clutchy, Swanee and Cookie Chip. Another blotch in the copybook for Cookie this season. Not enjoying life in the Elite League at the moment. We had a bit of a joke earlier. Well, he could be stepping down to F2. It already, if you get relegated, mate, you're going down. Oh, right, that does make sense then. Forgive me, I was just looking. So Cookie span on his fast lap, but that's what I mean. Once again, more issues for Cookie. All we have to do now is wait for the guys to retire from the session. There's VSR Thomas. I've actually got his fucking name right this time. Hopefully the AIs don't give each other penalties like we've had multiple times in the past. Complete and utter realism. I did actually have a trivia question, guys, on F1 news and Formula 1 news and memes. our backing, of course. Just to kind of let you know, we had a question that I put up. It was, can you name the only driver that has ever won back-to-back Grand Prix in the same circuit and the same country, I believe it was. And just to kind of reveal the answer as a spoiler, as I said I would do if people haven't already guessed it, it was Damon Hill at the last race of 1995. He won in Adelaide, and when the kind of circus switched over to Melbourne, it was himself that won that too. Back-to-back 95 and 96. Bit of a cheeky question. But there you go, guys. So, Syke, Robbo, AJ Skillen, VSR Thomas, Bingley, Towley, all within 3. The top, bloody hell, the top 12 are within 7/10. That is fucking mental. The 2 guys to take the fall very close to it are Johnny Bravo and Haynes, Swanee, Clutchy starting. Well, all these guys will be able to choose their own team, choose their own tyres, sorry, forgive me. And then, of course, Cookie Chip not setting a lap time, spun on his main lap, as Syke has said in the comments. So, this is the big one. Every week, the top 10 shootout always brings us some madness. Forgive me if I am being a little bit quieter than usual, guys. I am sometimes very, very boisterous on stream. My missus upstairs, she's at work early, and my baby is asleep, developing a second fucking cold in 3 weeks, bless her. But so that's why I'm not quite as boisterous as what I usually would be. But it never changes many things, and Syke is first out again. So let's get on board with Syke once again, as he sets his first time lap on the super soft tyre. You'd imagine these guys are all going to go for 2 runs, as is the usual way about things. Especially as, you know, super soft tyres are just the dead tyre around here. I mean, you probably get about 7 or 8 laps if you're on an absolute tyre-saving bender, basically. So both McLarens, VSR Thomas, not Simon, of course. If we had VSR Simon, that might be a very interesting scenario as well. I have heard mutings that VSR Thomas is on Towley and Robbo's level, so this should be quite an interesting thing. So we've got 6 drivers out on track at the moment. Syke, Thomas, Towley, Skillen, Bingley and AJ still waiting for Robbo, Matt, and there you go. So Skillen, another one. He's just come out, so we're waiting on Smoke, Robbo and Matt to come out on track. Big gap back between Syke and VSR Thomas, so a lot of space and time, as you see just behind. I believe that is Towley coming just behind VSR Thomas on his first flying off, his outlap, sorry, to begin to start his first flying lap, should I say. Robbo, and I believe everybody, and yep, everybody is now out on track. Wicked. So we've got some good data we're going to be gathering here. Sykes in, he comes around the last corner. He will, of course, begin the proceedings off 17.1 on soft tyres. Mental time. Do you know what that means? We're simply going to see 16, so there's no other way about it. Unless everyone just bleeding blows up or something, you ain't going to go in with 17s here. There'll be a few 70s, but the top guys will be aiming at that mid to high 16. Syke runs a little bit wide there at turn 2, and I'm not sure if that is an invalidation. We'll see. It is. I believe that is an invalidation, This time going back onto no ERS. He did run a little bit wide. Curious there to see. So we're going to go on board with the newcomer, VSR Thomas. As we watch on board with him for his flying lap coming down now towards turn number 5. Very, very long, looping left-hander. Very, very tight turn, kink 6, going through 7 and 8 now the chicane. So easy to throw the car one way or the other. I myself will spun off in every direction around that corner. And holds turn 9 very, very nicely coming down the back DRS straight, the back straight as we can now call it in Spain. Turn 10, the tight left-hander looms, 11 and 12. Very, very key that you get the optimal lines through here or it can really upset the balance of your car and ruin a flying lap. Turn 13, 14 and 15 almost come in quick succession. So right-hander coming into the left-right. Once again another turn on that. This looks like an absolutely superb lap in fairness. I think this is going to be a really, really get back on the telemetry. And for the love of God, we got a 16.4 already. We got a 16.4. What can Towley do? A 16.8. Wow, only 4. Sorry, Thomas 7 ticks quicker than what Towley could do. VSR Thomas is at a 16.4. And AJ with a 16.6. Bloody and Smoke Spaceman getting firmly out of the way there. Smoke having a couple of issues, it would seem. Skillen, I believe he's next one round. Skillen comes across the line, and that's a 17.0. Can you believe a 17.0 is the slowest time at the moment? They call it Elite League for a reason. And that comes round then. We're maybe seeing another lap potential here by Matt. 17.2. That's not far off what he actually got in on the soft tyres in Q2. So you'd imagine he'll be going again most likely. Robbo is, I think it's Robbo. Oh, Robbo runs really wide, and Robbo's off. Robbo's off. That is lucky that he hit his rear wheel. Good lord, what a save. Smoke Spaceman starts his lap. Sykes-Zaney puts it in there with a 16, I believe it's 16.8. Yes it is, guys, forgive me. Sorry, I'm sitting a little bit lower down than what I usually do. 16.8 for Sykes, so just a slight bit quicker than Towley, half a tenth there. And Syke is literally going across, cutting the corner, just so he can get into the pits. Oh, and a spinning Skillen right in front of Bingley there. That was rather an interesting line by Skillen. You probably don't really want to go down that route. Smoke Spaceman then. Running low battery. So I believe this is his second lap. I believe he made a mistake on the first one. Let's have a quick look to see if Smoke can redeem himself around there. So Robbo's leaving himself with one go. Literally 0.8 of a second separating everyone, but that is a mental time. 16.4, 16.5 for Bingley. Sorry, I missed that one as well. Bingley with a 16.5. Really, really good lap by Bings. As you see then, Smoke Spaceman on his flying lap now. Of course, the Red Bull being partnered up, and I'm not sure if it's partnered up or owned. You guys can correct me in the comments. I'm not the most knowledgeable person with like car manufacturers and stuff like that, but oh, it's Skillen. That is desperation. Get the fuck out the way, Skillen. Good driving, man. Smoke Spaceman. Can he hit himself a 16? Yes, he can. No, 17.3. Smoke having a good weekend, but he's put himself in with the time lapse, so he'll be coming out, you'd guess and assume again. Robbo is the guy we're going to be featuring. He has won 3 of the first 4 Grand Prix, as he won in Melbourne. I believe it was Melbourne, Bahrain, after an immense battle with Towley, and also he won in Baku after nearly totaling his car through the castle section. Robbo is getting really lucky with incidents that he's having that are just kind of going his way in a way, because he didn't get damaged through the castle, which is a minor miracle. And of course then he literally caked the left-hand side coming round towards the final corner in the pit lane and literally just scooped the car and drove it into the pits sideways, which is rather impressive at the best of times. But here comes Rob then. Of course, 3 wins out of 4 championship leader. Bingley is asking if VSR Thomas is a new driver. Yes. Here we go. So that is Robbo going on to his flight lap. Forgive me guys, I'm just writing a message to admins as well, but I'll see if I can try and do 2 things at once. Robbo, I believe this is going to be, well, he could do another run potentially, depending what tyre. No, he won't be able to, will he? Unless he's using the same tyres that he went out on before, which is a risk, especially at this sort of stage. 21.6, we're going to be expecting around about a low 16 here for Rob, maybe sort of around VSR Thomas's potential heiress, so we may be getting a humongous battle here. Towley is only down in 5th position to the max. He's also out on track, doing well in 16.9. Very, very close times with everybody. No one's really streaking ahead of anybody else, but it's going to be so interesting to see the new guy, BSR Thomas, actually traverse these guys. This is going to be an absolutely corking start to this Grand Prix. Obviously, once everyone gets their time lapse in, I'm going to sprint outside like an absolute mad psychotic ginger motherfucker and go for a cigarette anyway, but here we go then. Sykes teammate. So, let's have a little crack here. What can Robbo do? Get off this broadcast cam. Why? No, I'm going to stay there. Are we going to get a good camera on the final corner? Yes, we are. Robbo. 16.7. He's 4th. Will Rob have enough gusto to get back to the pits? It's going to be tight. It's maybe Rob's worst qualifying performance in RRF1. As you see, we're going to go on board to the Max then. He is going to be the next car around doing a flying lap. Max has had himself a really fun season so far, barring Baku when he had a crash. Obviously, he is supporting a 5-second penalty for another misdemeanor in that race, but like I said, it is what it is. So my battery is running a bit low as well, so I may be a little bit low on comments, of course, folks. So Aaron Haynes. That's bloody typical, man. I was about to say, Dan Pennell's go on McLaren. We have 2 McLaren drivers, and they're both doing really, really well at the moment. Lads, thank you so much for tuning in, of course. Haynes and Syke and anybody else in the Elite League who is currently tuned in. Good luck for the race. Keep it as clean as you can. Don't try and kill each other. Right then, so obviously Dan had himself a very interesting race. Could have been up there in Formula 3. Make sure you check that out on the PosGlad YouTube channel, of course. Might as well be called the RRF1 home channel. You know, we've got most of the RRF1 shit I'm putting on there nowadays, barring cricket. So here comes to the Max. Is he going to be improvement? It's going to be a big improvement, I think, and that gets him up to 5th position ahead of Syke Zaney. 1 minute 16.7, 600ths off Robbo. You'll imagine that people will be coming back out. Well, they have to come back out if they're going to be improving. They're literally at the cut-off point. Everybody's going to be coming out on track roughly at the same time, then you'd imagine. Unless they're not. Not many people coming out on track here. Don't know if there's any rain forecast. No, no rain at all. We'll be seeing some of the top guns come out on track, and they all set in stone. And Matt is at the 6th position. So Matt, big improvement then. Jumps Syke's in as well. Syke and Towley both out on track. And what the bloody? Who was that on the main straight? Oh, it's to the Max. What the piss happened to him? There's nobody coming round really to see. So to the Max has done his lap and celebrated in absolute Max Verstappen style and just bombed it into the wall. That's probably not really what you want to do. So Syke then on his outlap, Towley on his outlap, both running it around together then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody that is, anybody who hasn't followed already, please be sure to do so. You're Robbie. Hey buddy, Robbie, it's been a while since I spoke to you, mate. Yeah, doing pretty good, bud. Thank you very much for watching. So RRF1 Elite League, new times, new start. Same fucking fast drivers. So, well, mostly the same, obviously. Because so everybody is out on track at the moment. I believe everybody will be able to get around and complete their lap. People are literally, some of them having to do literal flying laps to get around. VSL Thomas then will be, I believe, the final person to complete. No, Spaceman, forgive me, the final person to complete his lap. Syke Zaney then. He's going to be going. You can see Matt, I believe he's coming into the pits. That is Matt's qualifying done very impressive. 1 minute 16.8. 8 drivers in the 16s. But to answer your question, Robbie, I'm doing really well, mate. So Syke Zaney is currently on his flag. He's the first driver, I believe, to come round for his, well, the last second burst, so to speak. We've already had Max and Matt come round with their lap. So will they be able to improve? We will find out in the next, well, I'd say minute and a half, really. Syke then. We wanted to improve on a 7th position on the grid. Towley is really low down as well. I can imagine Towley to go a little bit quicker. Is Towley? Interesting. I'm trying to work out what the ERS people are doing. It's so cool because I run so many different ERS things compared to everyone else. It's most different. Syke goes pole. Syke with a 16-1. Fucking shagged the vicar. Towley's put... No! It's over for Towley, he's not going to improve. Holy fucking moly, Syke, what a lap. That's a wake-up call for everyone else. Now, let's see what the other guys can do. 11 viewers, guys, now. We are starting to pick up some figures. Everybody who's watching, share it to every motherfucker you know. We want people to get involved in this tonight. Forgive me for the low commentary volume. And AJ, I believe, has skew-whiffed the lap. AJ was on course for a corker. No improvement, 17-0. Who's coming around next? Let's have a look. Smoke Spaceman is going to... Oh, my God. That's an explosion. And Robbo's off. Everyone's just falling off the track. For God's sakes, lads. Why are you all dying? Robbo, but this is amazing. Robbo on the 3rd row. Towley on the 4th. VSR Thomas. Oh my God. And he got in 1.8. No. Oh, he would have been 200s. And Bingley goes 2nd. VSR Thomas invalidated, but would have been not good enough. So Syke's done it. Syke with the pole position. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Robbo went off track. Towley messed the lap up. AJ messed the lap up. VSR Thomas invalidated. Bingley with a great improvement going into P2. This is going to be an interesting one, lads. What a fucking lap time by Syke, and obviously Thomas as well. Both hitting the 16-1s. Towley's having issues, it seems. Maybe a couple of problems in the qualifying lap. Maybe, don't know if there's any traffic or anything. Obviously will remain to be seen. We'll be told, of course, after the Grand Prix, whether either in podium or not in podium, of course, giving two very, very distinct options. So guys, Syke, Zaney, Bingley, VSR Thomas, AJ, Robbo to the max. Matt, Towley, Skillen and Smoked Spaceman. They are your top 10. Pos is going to be back in 2 minutes. Please don't ready up anybody, for fuck's sake. Back in 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry there, just had to go and take another 10 minutes off my life by smoking. Hashtag don't smoke, I guess. Right, lads, anybody who's watching, predictions, comments, go. Me personally, I'm actually don't really know what to say because I've not seen Robbo and Towley this far down on a grid, both collectively, ever. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a little bit of a spoiler. So Haynes and Swanee currently running on the super soft time. Sure, that's going to change before lights out, you'd assume. Unless they're just going to both go for optimal 2 stops. But then running with supers is still going to be a bit of an issue. when that, obviously the top 10 running on soft tyres. So that's set in stone. Syke, of course, on pole. Fuck, that is the dullest commentary I've ever done in my life. I was actually going to go and get some Spanish facts off Google, but I thought, no, I'm not going to go down that fucking sad route. But anyway, 15 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, all rearing to go. Hopefully we can have a nice, clean opening lap. It's a customary for RRF1 to have crazy-ass first laps. Bingley. What a comment by Bingley. Hell of a lap, though, by Syke Zaney. Really putting on a show around Spain. So let's have a little look so far. Hopefully he can keep it going into the race. It's going to be very... Syke has already predicted me to lead, make a mistake and crash. It seems to be the way of your season at some point, bar in Melbourne. Obviously had a great battle with Umpy Lumpy, who currently doesn't race with us anymore in terms of Sunday racing. Wish him best with his future endeavours, of course. And whatever league he chooses to go to, hopefully he goes up to it and smashes it, of course. So here we go then. We are literally moments away, ladies and gentlemen, from the formation lap in the Spanish Grand Prix. So, round 5, guys, looking back at the season so far, the Elite League has thrown up some absolute gems. Absolute gems. Hopefully, we will be able to bring you another one here tonight. We have, like I said, 15 drivers on the grid, raring and willing to go and hopefully put on an absolute show. Hopefully not a clusterfuck. We're just waiting on the old two to go. Literally, when they want to go, they can go. That's the rule of thumb. So, going to be interesting to see what Robbo can do from 5th and Towley from 8th. These two are usually the pace setters. Not on form today. Robbo making a couple of mistakes in qualifying, of course. He did go off the track twice. Of course, managed to get a lap in Q3. Towley just not been able to pull a lap together, it would seem. It's going to make a fascinating Grand Prix watching those two guys come through. And, of course, Cookie Chip in 15th as well. Don't forget about Cookie. So this is going to be one for the ages. Obviously, you've got the likes of Swanee, who has been consistent, I believe. Swanee is one of the few guys to score points in every single Grand Prix. Every single point that you get is absolutely crucial moving forward. There may be a potential of F2 driver Lovely Colt joining this group. We don't know if he can race Sundays. We'll be finding out. He is, of course, on Elite League pace, racing with us at the moment. Obviously, we bring people in, and then, but so we are going. Robbo has readied up, ladies and gentlemen. That is the 5-minute window. So here we go. What a Grand Prix we have in store for us today around Catalonia. As you see the guys slowly ready up. Obviously, we are without Cush Mania as well, which is intriguing. I'm not sure if Cush is going to be back at all. I'd be unfortunate if he does go. I know Cush is a very quick driver on his day. So here we go then. Is everybody going to be going? I believe so. And Bingley and Syke just literally scorched their tyres. Yep, everybody going, everybody going. Nice, good stuff. Obviously we've got the likes of Benny, Sniper. I'm not sure if Sniper's actually here. I did see him come online. I'm not sure if one of the guys invited him or not. I see Syke and Bingley there up top. These two have had battles in the past, going back to SF1 Belgium when Syke made his... Oh, guys, come on, be careful. Syke made his SF1 debut, shocking everyone with a dive bomb down the inside, stuck it up the inside in Belgium first corner. Last horse hairpin, of course. As we see all the drivers really warming their tyres up here. We flick down Matt, 7th, Towley, there he is in 8th. He'll be one to watch. You see there, Robbo in 5th in the Force India, just in camera shot. Skill and Smoke Spaceman, he's had a very scruffy weekend so far, hopefully that can improve for him. Mix of Haynes, driver of the day last week on his debut, 3rd position round Baku. Starting in an unfortunate 12th, of course. He has put on the comments already that he was a little bit distracted. And then cocked his lap up. That's the thing. If you're not fully focused on good technology, they went flying off there. Warming his tyres up very nicely. There's a bit of jitter there on connection. Hopefully that's just from my side. Fingers crossed. As we see Syke, Bingley, VSR Thomas, the debutant, AJ Robbo to the max, and never could qualify for max, and decided to just absolutely explode at the exit of the pit lane. The only Renault tonight of Matt, of course, Sniper is a no-show Benny and Kai Pollitt. Of course, Kai would be here, but internet issues have blighted in Benny at work, and I believe Sniper come back just... I'm not sure if Sniper did join. Well, obviously he didn't because he's not here. So, we come round now towards kick-off time. I'm going to get a good shot now, because I'm never going to get this view in F2. Pole position there, psych. It's pulled up to the grid. Look at this camera pan. Last driver, Cookie Chip. Pulling up to his grid slot right then. Here comes the madness. Sector 3 yellow flag, that just makes complete sense. We have 5 red lights in the Spanish Grand Prix. The lights go out and it is underway. So let's have a look and see who's got the best start here. A rapid start there by the Toro Rosso of Skillen. He kind of moves a little bit to one side. VSL Thomas, you can see, look at this, the Williams in the background, Haynes. Alongside Smoke Spaceman, we're going to literally flick through everybody. We got a bit of damage already on the Sauber. I believe that might be Towley. Not sure if there was damage. Everyone's got around really, really well. Oh, both Red Bulls taking simultaneous lines. And oh my god, that could have been carnage. Swanee and Clutchy. Both side by side then. We'll have a little look up and down the field. Smoke Spaceman has gone round. He's trying to hang it round the outside. Skillen got a 5-second stop go. I don't know what that was for. It's a little bit cheeky. Psych takes off the McLaren. There's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Bingley and Robbo. These two have had battle of the season so far around the Chinese Grand Prix. Why is this not even up yet? Fucking get on tyres. There you go. Right, so everybody line astern. Robbo looking for a way past Bingley. Bingley on the defensive there. And you see the Renault of Matt taking the inside line there against Haynes. No damage. Great move by Matt up the inside. Cookie Chip is up to 10th. 5 places gained. And we're not even through a lap 1. I did say Cookie may be a dark horse on the medium tyres. Definitely will be coming through later in the race if we have no issues. We've got the Sauber. The Sauber's running in 5th and 7th, both of them. I believe Towley has made a position. AJ has had a bit of a slow start there. And here, Sykes only takes the initial lead, 4/10 of a second ahead of his teammate VSR Thomas. Syke, the first time he's had a team out, and he finds the pair of them in a 1-2. Look at this here. And AJ! What's happened? What the fuck has gone on there? Where's he gone? AJ Air is out of the Grand Prix already. What went on there? Oh my god. One Sauber down, AJ's miserable season continues. Oh my god, what happened? See if I can get a camera pan from Smoke. Come on, I'm hoping to see if I can see anything. And there's the wheel. AJ on the right. Wait, that's exactly where I blew up in the F2 race. Syke and Thomas getting off there. And I believe that's Matt. Matt. Oh, he's off and lost his wing. What happened to Matt there? Did just miss that. Forgive me, guys. So we are going to go back on board then. I believe Skillen. Look at the train in front here. Max is leading Towley. Haynes. Cookie Chip is up to 8th position. Skillen with a 5-place penalty. 5-second stop-go penalty, sorry. Swanee holding station 2. Clutchy running a little bit wide there. Johnny Bravo is in 12th position. Smoke with a wing off. Unsure what happens, Syke, and there you go, the top 4 getting away here, it looks like, from, well, not it looks like, they are getting away. DRS, of course, is activated here. Bingley with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, that, of course, will be trumped. DRS available. Towley having a little look at the inside of to the Max, as that is currently the battle for 5th position. Towley will be wanting to get past Max very quickly. As you see, Clutchy has been overtaken there. That was a little bit... Matt's continuing on with a really damaged wing there. Could be fatal for him. Smoke Spaceman, of course, running around. We'll be looking to hopefully see crashes further up the field. Don't know what happened to AJ. Obviously that will be confirmed. Maybe a bit of a move or something. Maybe he spun, because that is a really odd place to lose your wheel. Obviously I ended up colliding with the wall. But to the, look at this battle behind. Skillen and Cookie Chip, both. All these guys. Haynes up another 5 places. He seems like a lap 1 warrior at the moment, this Haynes. So on board then with the Sauber of Towley. I'm just trying to find the best person to watch this. So probably Haynes, who's right towards him as well. Bingley, and look at this battle here for 2nd place. For VSR Thomas, Bingley and Robbo. At least I know Bingley and Robbo, former champions in their respective leagues. Former champs, of course. Syke, look at this, everybody just trying to get DRS here. Syke is going to be very, very vulnerable. I think he's just about got enough to keep in the lead on this particular lap. So Bingley having a little look at the inside. Robbo then sitting pretty in fourth, and Towley has done to the max. Max, I believe that may have been a very, very weak defence there, knowing that Towley's coming. Max is down into sixth position. Johnny Bravo, of course, is battling with Clutchy. What happened? What the hell happened there? Don't know if that's lag potentially, because Clutchy is all over the place on my screen. Obviously what I see is different to what the drivers see. Just goes to show how good this game is. Swanee once again sitting in 10th position. So there is your main battle at the moment, battle for 6th position. Towley's still holding 5th. Matt does finally pit. I'd definitely say a lap too late there. Don't know what happened. I think he must have had a little spin or some sort to bring no assist, does give you a little bit more of a weakness. And Haynes is on to the max now. Will Haynes get the move done? Max is going to give him a bit of a fight for it, and Haynes, very nice around the outside. Haynes up 6 places, and Skillen and Cookie Chip, they're having a real ding-dong. That's for 8th position. I believe Skillen got the move done under DRS conditions, so we have got now a complete top 4. We're going to watch on board the TV camera. Here we go then. Syke, Thomas, Bingley, Robbo, all coming down the main street. Syke is going to have to go defensive here. Let's watch his Towley with the fastest lap. He's been given a new lease of life, it would seem. Syke then locks up with Thomas second, Bingley third, Robbo fourth. All line astern at the moment. Huge battle then at the beginning of the Spanish Grand Prix. And Clutchy and Johnny Bravo, those two. Clutchy goes for the move. I think Johnny Bravo, no, he went round the outside. Forgive me there, guys. Johnny Bravo gets the move done. He can chase down Swanee and see if he can get into the points positions. But this is the real story as it stands. First, second, third, and fourth. Syke locking up there. Thomas getting extremely close to the back of his car. We are running now on lap 5, ladies and gentlemen. Only 28.5 laps to go. I say only. What a dick word that was. So here we go then. Spain. Round 5, RRF1 is already looking to be a corker. Bingley is all over Thomas. Syke is being pressurised and he breaks the slipstream ever so slightly, which is a key factor. We're going to go back on board with the onboard from Robbo. He is literally sitting, as I said, sitting pretty. But Haynes and Towley, this new guy Haynes is really quick, it must be said. So we've got battles up and down the field as it stands at the moment. To the max has Skillen behind him, with Cookie Chip still latched onto the back of his car. Clutchy has not been thrown off here, and here we go then. This could be a change in the lead potentially, you can imagine, as VSR Thomas is truly in the slipstream of Syke Zaney as it goes now. Syke, he's on good defensive, he's staying on the main line, racing line, he's going to go for momentum, but VSR Thomas gets the move done. He takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Next up will be, well, Syke will hopefully look to stay with him. Good clean overtaking manoeuvre there, guys, as we're going to go a bit further down the order. Haynes is still on Towley's backside, it would seem, and in the background there you saw Swanee with Johnny Bravo and Clutchy still hanging fire with him. Matt is catching smoke. Spaceman, those two are the affected guys on lap 1. As I said, guys, clips will, when we get clips, we'll be sending them now. I usually wait till after all 3 Grand Prix are done. I have sent the F3 clips over. F2 clips will be coming up at the end of tonight, and then we'll wait probably about another day to collate all the other clips together and send them over too. Towley still has Haynes behind him. Impressive debut Haynes had, as I said, in Baku. Got himself a 5th position, ironically, from pretty similar grid starting position, actually. I think it was it 12th again? I think it was 12th. 2 12th qualifyings in a row. As you see, VSL Thomas is getting a little bit further ahead, but of course there will be DRS to save all 3 of these guys, and Towley is catching Robbo from behind, and he's bringing Haynes with him. This could be a 6-car scrap. All things go right. So for this VSR Thomas, I think Thomas will be far enough ahead to keep the lead here, but this is going to be the main one. Bingley and Syke, Zaney, Robbo behind him. Bingley's going to have a little look to the inside, thinks better of it, as we begin lap 6 then, ladies and gentlemen, and Haynes is still all over Towley, but these two are battling and it's not really affecting them. And to the max and Skillen, very close up front there, battle for 7th as well, and a points battle here, and Johnny Bravo goes up the inside of Swanee. Oh god, Swanee a little bit loose there. Johnny Bravo's going to have a little look at it. Bravo with an overspeed there. Swanee goes to the defensive line. Johnny Bravo's already there. I believe that should be the move done. Is Swanee going to hang it on the outside? He's not. That is 10th position, Johnny Bravo. Good move. Nice one. Got the move done. We go back up front then. VSR Thomas beginning to open up a minor gap. As you see Syke then, Bingley and Robbo. What a race we've got in store for us here, ladies and gentlemen. And remember the likes of Cookie Chip and Johnny Bravo on the mediums, as is Clutchy, of course. Clutchy looking very close. We're going to go back there quick. Oh my God, hitting the grass. We're going to skip right back up then. I believe we've got Haynes and Towley still running together. Skillen still all over the back of Max, taking Cookie Chip along for the ride with him. And Clutchy with the first corner cutting penalty of the race. So Syke is literally holding on for dear life here for second position. But a very, very impressive showing by all drivers so far. But I don't know what happened to AJ. Of course, we'll hear the fallout at the end of the Grand Prix. Robbo, it seems, is beginning. He's just literally sitting on the back of Syke. Syke just... No, he didn't get DRS. Syke didn't get DRS. So Bingley goes for a move up the inside. Locks the brakes. That's going to give Robbo a bit of a run at him now. The battle for the final podium position as it stands. And Skillen has done to the max. Cookie with a penalty behind him with a corner cut penalty as well. Look at to the max there, trying to capitalise on Skillen running a little bit wide to get the move done. Cookie Chip there, just sitting in the background, sitting pretty on the medium tyres. They will come to him in about a lap or two. You'll begin to see Cookie Chip move up the field. There's Robbo with Bingley as well, and Towley and Haynes. What a battle between these two guys. I'm not sure if Towley has got wing damage. That may be a potential, because I did see a little bit of carbon fibre fly off, as you see in the background there. Well, everyone's pretty much closing in on each other. It is now pretty much here a 6-car battle for the lead. All 9 drivers pretty much within a 10-second window of the top 10 of the leader. Sorry, what the fuck am I on about? Let's fucking speak English here. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. The top 9 are within 8 seconds. There you go. Fucking hell, we got the words up. Fantastic. Or within 8.5. Anyway, moving on. So you see there, Robbo a little bit further behind Bingley on this. The guys are a little bit more spread out here. No DRS, but Bingley will be the one with DRS, and Robbo just about got it as well, so he's going to be able to hang in there. Let's get on board with Bingley and see if he can catch up. I don't think he's going to have enough in the tank here. And one person who might have enough in the tank is Haynes. Thinks about the move, literally biding his time to the max. And Skillen, these two had a coming together, remember, in Azerbaijan. Well, Max got, when Skillen hit the wall on the outside, come back across and hit Max, and there's Cookie Chip in the background. Sorry, I wasn't on board with him, forgive me. Oh, Cookie very, very loose on that corner, good, runs wide. Probably for the best, really. Very, very experienced racer, knows that he's going to be able. We're going to get on board with the Haynes and Towley battle briefly, unless we have something else mad that happens in the next lap. So the Max, Skillen and Cookie Chip is a time bomb waiting to explode into action. You'd imagine, can't wait to see him. We've got Matt at the back as well, don't forget about the battle for 13th place. Matt and Smoke Spaceman, let's have a look where they are. Matt caught right back up with him, forgive me guys, sorry, a little bit loose hands on the commentary there. Not getting to the right car. Bingley is caught right up, Robbo is there, and Towley's still leading Haynes. Towley's probably thinking, get the fucking hell away from me, but not as of yet. Cookie Chip and Tether Max are literally brawling here. Brawling for P8. This is what it means to these guys, just get your points, get a good result, get yourself further up the table, avoid that dreaded drop zone, because I believe there's about 14-15 drivers all needing good results here. Syke is of course one of them, as is Bingley. Bingley goes for a move around the outside. This is his best opportunity yet. The two guys side by side, round turn 2, still side by side. Syke's got the line, but Bingley around the outside. Syke, what a move by Bingley, gets the job done. Haynes and Towley now literally wheel to wheel. Haynes had his biggest goal. As I think about it, Towley's a little bit of a door open. If you leave a door open that little, and Haynes going for another move. Towley is just completely frustrated him at the moment. Cookie Chip has got the move done into the max as well, and Syke's off. Syke at the wall. What happened? He's made his mistake. He said he would. Oh, that is wounding. That is wounding at this stage. Syke all over the place here. Needs to cool his tyres down. Oh no. Oh dear. Syke and Robbo were together. As you see, Skillen, Syke does have damage. You've got to be very careful in these situations. Skillen was on the other end of the other end of the fucking boot there, wasn't he? Gotta go here. Oh, Syke. Yeah, may as well keep your tyres going. You've only got another 3 laps to do it. It may suffer, but 23 laps of mediums is a hard push, and he is going to stay out. It would not be intelligent to go in. Well, it would be, obviously you get a fresh wing, but you'd struggle on your tyres. And Robbo and Bingley, the battle from China resumes. Bingley now on the defensive. It was only a lap ago he was making possibly the move of the race, and now he's got Robbo all over his gearbox. Haynes and Towley promoted to the battle for 4th. Skillen didn't get the move done on Sykes. Sykes still holds the position. Remember, he has got really, really bad wing damage after walloping the wall. So Matt and Smoke still battling back there for 12th position. Chip just still with them. This is pretty much a position gained for everybody, I'd say. Well, pretty much down to Johnny Bravo potentially. Clutchy has lost out in that battle. We've seen the battle of the medium tyres, but we are still here then. And Matt and Smoke Spaceman. Matt gets the move done. He goes up into 13th position. So Matt can now begin his charge up to the back of Swanee. I believe Swanee is pitted for the super soft tyres. Go for an unusual two-stop there, but he comes out 5 seconds ahead of Matt. Robbo then, and look at this, you've got 2 battles, well, literally 3 or 4 battles on track. Look at this, Syke has held the position over Skill, and Cookie Chip just behind him as well. So the Max is beginning to fade a little bit on his medium, on his soft tyres, forgive me guys, as the medium tyres will begin to come into real effect here. Watching from the back, Cookie I believe, but we're going to go, Robbo's pitted. No, sorry, Bingley pits, what am I on about? Oops, wrong person. So Towley goes into second, into third, the final podium position. And Syke does pit. Syke did manage to get his tyres to lap 11 in the end. And here then comes Skillen and Cookie Chip. These guys are going to be released now. And Cookie's going for a move around the outside. Oh, bit of wheel bashing there. Still said more wheel bashing there. Go on, Cookie's actually got the move done. And I believe he has round the outside. I'm not sure if Skillen eventually did give him the room to get past. Almost deliberately there, but what a bit of battling that was. Back and forth, tapping wheels. The battle between Haynes and Towley is still going on. VSR Thomas as it stands. And Matt has done the fastest lap of the race on mediums. 1 minute 20.9. There may be some people who will want to reclaim that back off him a little bit later into the Grand Prix. Cookie Chip having his first clean race of the season, it would seem. We are aboard then with Towley, who is beginning to catch Robbo. That's a... What's happened here with Robbo? What's going on? Is it wing damage potentially? I don't know. You can never tell with these cars. They need to make a more of a distinct thing that we can see that people have damage, like light green or yellow damage. Robbo then pits in. Robbo and Towley pit in, and Haynes continues. So these two will be looking at the undercut on the race leader. Skill to the max. We've got a mad influx of guys into the pits. Johnny Bravo still going, of course. We know Johnny Bravo can go a long time on his tyres. He's made an almost living from doing it. Clutchy is going to be up then into 5th position. Then obviously these guys all have to pit again. Bingley, oh, will Bingley come out in front of Robbo? This is going to be a key thing here. Bingley and Robbo. And these guys are going to come out side by side here. Bingley gets the move done just. Bingley is up into a net 2nd place, just ahead of Robbo. Towley is there as well. Syke, of course, will be going to the end on his mediums. Syke, you still can't count him out. He's obviously going to be a few places further down than what he was. Now these guys are a little bit more spaced out now, so once all the pit stops come in, we'll begin to see a bit of movement there. Max is on the medium. Swanee, of course, will be making another stop, you would imagine. I don't think you're going to be pulling super soft tyres 5 laps into a Grand Prix. That just isn't going to happen anytime soon. As VSR Thomas are going to go and showcase him really quickly. Syke with a penalty as well. Syke just needs to get his head back in the game here, I think. As the race leader, VSR Thomas, comes into the pits. Oh my god, nearly went out! Fucking hell! Goes in very slowly, very cautiously. Haynes, remember, will be battling Towley. These guys are going so close to that left-hand side wall. Goodness me. And Cookie Chip then on the medium, so this is when the medium runners will shine. As Cookie takes the lead of the Grand Prix, that is going to be a major, even though it's not going to be permanently, that is a major boost in confidence for Cookie. And I've been bombarded with messages by Real Steel. Why? I don't know. I literally, as of now, don't care. And VSR Thomas comes out, and Bingley's not a million miles behind him here. And Robbo and Towley both running together. We may be, well, we're going to be seeing a new, as it stands, a new drive on the podium, but still an awfully long way to go. Not even at half distance yet. Just started lap 14. I think Cookie is coming through sector 2 in lap 14, so a long way to go. And Haynes has actually come out in front of Syke. Syke has really fallen down due to that damage. It is, of course, pardon me guys, a bit of a burp. That's what you get for drinking cola on stream. Syke is going to be in a net 6th position, so he has come out just behind the Towley and Haynes battle, which of course is spread out a little bit more now. So VSR Thomas, you will imagine, will be hauling Clutchy in. So it's going to be a battle for position. but they're not in the same Grand Prix at the moment. Clutchy is looking to get himself back towards the bottom of the points. No real huge gaps for anybody now. Now all the pit stops are sorted. I believe Matt, Swanee and Smoke do need to pit in again, as do the top three, as we now know. And Skillen with a penalty there. He is down in 12th position, of course. He was battling with to the max, and he would have had wing damage, I assume, then, putting him that far down. But a 3-second penalty nonetheless on board then with VSR Thomas as we come around the final corner. Clutchy, how long will it take Thomas to get past? I don't know. Towley is behind Robbo. These guys are currently battling for a net final position on the podium. Intriguing here, and look, they're all getting fast laps. 20.4. Clutchy goes defensive. In a way, I think that move was inevitable. As Haynes then, and Swanee does pit. I'm not sure if that was a mistake by him then putting on the super softs. But Swanee, that'll be pretty much his race in effect. The points you would imagine, barring incidents, over at this stage. I don't know what happened with Swanee. Maybe a kind of glitch in the pit strategy. That usually does happen. So we are running forward then. 12 views on the stream, guys. Thank you so much. What a stream we have brought for you today. I was checking my mic, wasn't on mute. I would look like an absolute cocksucker if that was the case. So Clutchy then is going to be next caught up by Bigley. As you can see, Clutchy getting himself a bit of TV time there. And no other really up-close on-track battles going on at the moment. Cookie Chip still leads the Grand Prix by 4.1 seconds. VSR Thomas has pitted, so he in effect has a 2-second advantage over Bigley at the moment, with Robbo and Towley running in net 3rd and 4th, Haynes 5th, Sykes 6th. Obviously not to disrespect the guys who haven't pitted yet, but of course they will fall down in due course. Let's have a look at Real Steel. Hello, as you know, when you stream you can't reply to messages. We're in the 19s in the fastest lap now, so you send me messages, obviously I can't reply to them. That's not the way to go. But thank you for watching, buddy. Anyway, we got Bigley, he's overtaking Clutchy while speaking, and Robbo and Towley. This battle could really escalate here. So we've got then only one retirement so far, guys. The absolutely devastatingly unfortunate AJ, who's just having a season from absolute hell as it stands. Syke running a little bit wide there, goodness me, a little bit wide. He's basically made turn 3 into an absolute oval type corner. To the max then running around in 10th position. It's going to be interesting to see where these other guys come out, like Cookie, Bravo and VSL Thomas. I believe Cookie, oh sorry, Thomas has already pitted, sorry, I lie, Clutchy, forgive me. So it's going to be really intriguing to see whereabouts they do fall in. I believe that Cookie will be just behind to the max in a net position at the moment. Then we have Johnny Bravo will be around about Skillen and Matt, but Matt and Smoke do have to pit again. There's no way in God's green earth you're pulling medium tyres 30 pissing laps. That shit doesn't happen. They've got a couple of guys here who are going to be rooting for points. Obviously Matt and Smoke will be a lot quicker come the end of the Grand Prix. Cookie stays on the tyres, but look at VSR Thomas in the background. Look at this here, Clutchy is getting hauled in by the two championship rivals. This should be quite interesting. What will Clutchy choose to do here? He's not really in this fight. Robbo gets through nicely. Towley waits for the move. Clutchy a little bit jittery. Towley's gonna have to get through here. Probably I'd say at turn 4 will be the desired place to go, and he does make the move on Clutchy. Clutchy defends it admirably there. In fact, these two are Clutchy's hanging around the outside of Towley. Oh, bit of contact. I think this is going to be a DRS move, but this is really costing Towley. Obviously, Clutchy, it's his right to race, but he's not currently in this battle. Obviously, me personally, I'd be the one to get out of the way and focus on my own race, but Clutchy, he's a good racer, he knows how to do things. So let's have a look here. Towley then, you can imagine, and VSR Thomas and Johnny Bravo having a battle up here as well. So there's a couple of battles, and Towley still stuck behind Clutchy. He's going to be begging that Clutchy pits. And I think Clutchy did make a mistake here. He's hanging it around the outside. Towley's got them to get the move done here. This is going to be surely now. Clutchy still hangs it around the outside. Clutchy then gives it the position. Great fight, by the way, there. Johnny Bravo does pit. That could have costed VSR Thomas dearly towards the end of the Grand Prix. Clutchy is staying out then, so Clutchy keeps it going around behind Towley now. Towley's had a very, very intriguing race. And look at Haynes. Haynes is back in the scrap. Haynes is caught back up. Johnny Bravo comes out in 9th. Clutchy going for a move on the outside of Towley, is he? Towley, good defensive manoeuvre, but Haynes, oh, very, very close. Bravo is has been overtaken by Skillen. So that's your battle for the last points position as it stands at the moment. Haynes looking at Clutchy. He's going to be very patient here, Haynes. Goodness me, fuck it, isn't simulation damage. That would have been wing dead. Haynes at the inside here. Is he going to get the move done? He's on wheel to wheel here. The Williams driver and the Red Bull veteran. Oh, bit of a squeeze then by Haynes, but gets the move done. Clutchy down into 7th position. Syke up next. Just like everyone getting past Clutchy Day, it would seem. VSR Thomas isn't catching Cookie Chip anywhere near what you'd think he would. But we're going to go back in intervals and see if there's any really, really close battles out on track. Clutchy can have a breather for a minute. Him and Cookie Chip on 17th lap all tyres, you'd imagine. Cookie will be putting in this or next lap. And it is going to be this lap, so the race leader into the pit lane as we see their race begin to pan out here a little bit better. So we've got VSR Thomas, Bingley, Robbo, Towley held up massively, as did Haynes. And Syke didn't have to get the move done, so Syke is going to be into 6th position. Swanee with a 3-second penalty back there, 13 seconds behind Smoke Spaceman, who does need to pit again, you'd imagine. To the max is running Cookie Chip. I don't think Skillen will have enough to get the move done on Cookie Chip, so Cookie Chip has jumped Skillen in this round of stops, and he is on the quicker tyre as well, as is Johnny Bravo, as is Clutchy. So this is where these three, obviously I'm Smoke Spaceman and Matt, you'd imagine. Johnny Bravo, as we mentioned his name, a 3-second penalty as he catches up to the back of Skillen. So this race is all going to come together right at the end, you would imagine. So we're going to go on board now with the battle for 9th position. It is Johnny Bravo catching Skillen, and I believe, there we go guys, thank you so much for watching everybody. It has been a mental Grand Prix, and it's only going to get crazier before the end of this race. Concentration potentially may dip. These guys are called the Elite League for a reason. They're a top group of racers here. Smoke does pit, so he will be charging back through. He's had a very, very poor season so far, and another blotch in his copybook, which isn't really going to work for him, but he will of course eventually bounce back. You know, Smoke, he can have about 8 or 9 bad races and then come back and set the world on fire. Hopefully we see that very soon indeed. Battle for 9th rages on then. Johnny couldn't get the move done on the DRS straight, so he'll be setting Skillen up for a move on the main straight. You would imagine dirty air always plays a factor at the end of this lap here on Spin, because it's all very, very tight knit. Not many places you can get through unless you have an absolute set of bollocks like made of iron. But here we go. I don't know what that phrase is. Cookie Chip catching to the max as well, further up the road. We'll keep an eye on that. This is the battle at the moment. Will Bravo get that move done on Skillen? You'd imagine so. Late on the brakes, and as long as he doesn't run wide, and he doesn't, that is a textbook manoeuvre by Johnny Bravo as he moves into 9th position. We're going to keep an eye on that one. Cookie Chip is still there battling with to the max. He'll be catching him up now, and hopefully he'll be moving up through the field. Cookie only has 10 points, remember, this season, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can do the business here. Very, very nice race so far. A couple of minor little niggles, but everyone seems to be banding together really, really nicely indeed. Skillen has been overtaken by Bravo. Wing damage, of course, affected his race. Of course, we had the incident with Syke. I don't really know what happened there. We'll obviously have a look at that a little bit later into the Grand Prix. Right, so Cookie didn't activate DRS. That's unusual. It maybe broke. He may have broken DRS. That'll sum up his luck this season as well. Bleeding hell if that was the case. So onwards and upwards we go then. Lap number 21. As I was about to say, lap number 20, VSR Thomas literally got the lap count going at 21 as I was saying it. So abandon, and you could just see here, Cookie Chip, this move is about to be made complete, you would imagine. Max, these two are in different races as it stands. I did say Cookie will be advancing forward. These two have both had really, really shit Bakus, by the way, but Cookie Chip gets the move done in this case as Johnny Bravo hits the fastest lap, another 19. All these guys have the potential to be race winners. That's the key. They all do. Literally, the field is separated. Bear in mind, Smoke Spaceman has had 2 stops and damaged wing by 59 seconds, under a minute. This is some of the closest racing you're going to see. To the max is not given up yet on the back of Cookie Chip. We're going to start seeing guys like Clutchy begin to catch Matt. Matt will be pitting, of course, as well. That will make him fall behind Swanee. So Swanee back up to 12, Clutchy then will be chasing down. You see Cookie Chip live then, getting another penalty. That's a 3-second. That could be costly, especially as the top, well, especially as everybody is pretty much glued together on track. It will prove costly as it stands. He's going to lose a good few points as this race goes on. Syke is beginning to catch Haynes. Now, we've seen Haynes go on the attack we've not seen him go on the defensive yet, so let's see if he can handle this as well as possible. Sykes' race has been a little bit compromised, you'd imagine, with an incident earlier in the Grand Prix. We did miss it, so obviously I was watching kind of other bits and bobs. I went down the back just to check on them, and the next thing you know, Sykes blows up. So Johnny Bravo is behind his team. You can imagine him, he'll begin to catch up. Max, so the Haas cars running together. Sector 3 and Skillen's gone. Skillen is gone. There he is in the middle of the road. Skillen lost it on the outside corner, you'd imagine, and has ploughed it into the wall. Such a shame for Skillen. Made 20 laps, of course. He is out. You see Smoke Spaceman there just checking through. Going to go on to the next biggest battle on track, which is a Matt does pit, by the way, just as I was saying that, forgive me. So Matt pits in. Will he come out quickly ahead of Swanee? Oh god, this is going to be close. Matt gets the job done, but remember, Swanee is on warmer tyres. 7-lap old tyres, admittedly. So we go back, he didn't get the job done. Matt keeps the position. Matt in 11th position. It's a tall order. 17.5 seconds to pull back. Remarkable drives by everybody here today, guys. Still just over 11 laps to go. 11 laps now as VSL Thomas crosses the line mysteriously during the time I said it again. Syke does have DRS nowhere near. Is he running his? Have I got a glitch here? It's saying that he's not running his DRS, but his speed is going, I don't know, weird. Unless he's not done it and just looking to literally save tyres and wear. I genuinely don't know. This game is fucked. Cookie Chip 5.2 off Syke Zaney at the moment. He is on the quicker tyre. Will the softs be durable enough to go to the end in a competitive frame and standpoint? But we have then got Johnny Bravo running in 9th. Clutcher doing very well to hold on to the final points paying position. Matt and Swanee there. There is our race leader, ladies and gentlemen. His debut race for RRF1, obviously. Well, it was the first ever race in Melbourne, so we had 3 debut winners. It was Matt in F3, of course. He is now participating in F1, or the Elite League, as we call it. We have also had Robbo in Melbourne, and me! I won. Probably the only time I'm ever going to fucking win a race. But as it stands here, he is on course to go the distance. Syke Zaney is, I believe that is a glitch. I think his DRS is running. As Haynes, he's going to have to defend. If Syke can keep himself in a really, really nice line, he is going to have to defend the position. Still really relatively close between everybody here. I know obviously Smoker's had a bit of an issue and had that pit stop as well, but barring the guys who have had incidents, there's only 32 seconds between the field. But as we now look, now we're going to go on board with Syke, and he's weaving. Weaving dust for the crowd. Hello, buddy. It might not be, I don't know. Syke with a weave, and he doesn't get the move done on this occasion. But he is in a much, much more prime position. If he can get a better run out of turn 2 and 3, especially 3, he may be in a position to go on the attack. Let's see. Don't think he's going to have enough. Nope, he waits. Patiently waiting, of course. This is, as I said, the biggest on-track battle that we have at the moment in the Elite League race around Catalonia. Over 2/3 distance gone, 1/3 still to go. As I put my tablet on charge, I'm literally relying on people not blowing up while I'm not watching. Here we go. As nope, no one's blown up since I last looked. Right, good. Oh, Syke did bleeding. Christ, that would have been a perfect time to return, wouldn't it? Syke, boom. So just over 9 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Syke Zaney all over still Haynes, but it's, do you know what, Spain is an uncharacteristically unorthodox track where it's quite an open circuit for the most part, barring this complete fucking tunnel. It might as well be called a tunnel, which is of course sector 3. But there's not too many places to get overtaking manoeuvres done because it's very swooping the corners. You know, it's one of them tracks where, barring this straight here, which could see Syke Zaney move up a position. Will he get the job done? So suddenly he comes just across the front of Haynes, and that's Syke Zaney up in the 5th position. Getting the move done, shutting the door, stopping any potential retaliation there. As Syke moves into 5th, we may be seeing a backup move here. Cookie Chip, another 3-second penalty. That is going to be crippling for him. Both Haas drivers, as it stands, will jump Cookie Chip. Skillen, of course, eliminated from the Grand Prix, as is AJ, Kai, Sniper, Benny. To, of course, Kush, of course, yet to race for us. Don't know if he will be showing up. Matt with the 1 minute 19.5. That, and he's actually put 4 seconds on Clutchy. This could be a very intriguing battle come the end of the Grand Prix. As you see, Cookie Chip just in the background there to the max. Holding him just is Linus Stern up front. Thomas, Bingley, Robbo, Towley. As we watch, I think it's a DRS glitch there, surely to fucking God. It's shown that everyone's got broken DRS. For the love of piss, sort it out, man. Come on, I'm trying to get the fucking commentary here. Right, but anyway, we are watching the battle for 5th position. Haynes already has a podium to his name. He'd be looking at getting 10 points here rather than 8. Obviously, it's showing him on the wrong tyre as well. Well-maintained game, fucking code bitches. And this time Haynes does have a bit of a run in. Oh, it is actually showing DRS working for a change here. That's nice. Syke taking the defensive line. Come across the front. Is that wing damage? There was a tap. There was a tap on the back here. Haynes with a tap on the back. Don't know if that's going to affect him. Swanee with a penalty as well. Obviously, the battle for 5th. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm not sure. Syke did move across one way, then back onto the racing line. Haynes wasn't on the racing line, so it wouldn't be considered illegal. But on we go then, pressing on, lap 26, we are closing in on what could be VSR Thomas's first Grand Prix victory in RRF1. Best to get it in now rather than in Monaco. But that's a race that everybody is dreading. A few people are loving it, like I know Clutchy for one loves Monaco, Jono likes Monaco. There is a fair few that do love the course, but 90% of RRF1 drivers absolutely despise the shithole, including me. Used to love it, hate its guts. That is coming up on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, on my channel. 8:45 kickoff time, maybe slightly later depending on delays. But that will be myself and SF1 Dragoon. I use that swear word in front of his name. Hopefully you'll change that soon. On we go then. So Syke, Zaney and Haynes. He does get DRS. Haynes going down to low on ERS. Syke also on overtake. They got pretty similar battery life. Unless a mistake is made here, I think we are running Linus Stern with this battle too. It is the closest thing we have got to a battle at the moment. As the soft runners, really the tyres haven't woken up from mediums and softs. There isn't too much of a gap between them. Towley takes a couple of attempts out of Rob, then the gap now down under 2 seconds between those two. And that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. We are still focusing on the battle for 5th and 6th as it stands. We'll have a little flick round in a moment as you see Syke there with another huge lock-up going into turn 5. Not what you want there. Obviously the chicane now of 7 and 8. We've seen this catch out so many people. Amazingly, nobody really in this race barring Matt early on. The gap there is 11.8 now between Matt and Clutchy. If there are penalties for Clutchy, that could really spice things up at a later date. Just under 7 laps to go now in the Spanish Grand Prix. We have got a gap now to 13 seconds. VSR Thomas and Bingley are matching each other 10th per 10th. In the sectors, Rob, another 2 tenths lost to Towley. Towley beginning to pick up a bit of speed compared to him. There's Rob there, back in 3rd position. Towley comes round in 4th. Syke and Haynes still 5th and 6th, waiting to pick up any scraps if anybody up front makes a mistake. Clutchy then is in 10th. We go up from Bravo and Max, the 2 Haas drivers, to the Max is having himself another really consistent Grand Prix. Possibly not as far up the field as what he would have liked to have been, but of course he is up there and competing. So, what a race we've had so far then, ladies and gentlemen. We might as well start talking about driver of the day. At the moment, I'm going to base it on positions gained, and I have to say, Cookie Chip has had a really, really good race, really quiet race in the end. He did his work on the medium tyres, dispatched a fair few cars in the first lap, 5 positions of course to be exact. Haynes has had another really, really superb drive. Obviously, it's between those two, I'd say, but obviously Cookie Chip does have penalties, but then you can sometimes overlook that. I believe, was that Towley with a 3-seconder? Have a look now. I believe it was. That is going to be huge. That is going to be massive. This is intriguing now. The race gets a little bit more interesting now. 4.3 seconds. The gap between Towley and Syke. Will Syke be able to catch up with Towley? I believe VSR Thomas has put another 7 attempts on Bingley. Smoke with a 3-second penalty. His season keeps just taking nosedives, doesn't it? But he is still, of course, on the lead lap. 1 minute 7 seconds down the road. Another really, really good race, guys. Obviously, you know, it's racing. If there isn't an incident, it's fucking boring, isn't it? Let's face it. But it's one of these scenarios where people have raced their hearts out again. You see Cookie Chip still just about in the background. The soft tyres beginning to go off though. Taking soft tyres 14, 15 laps is still an achievement. That's one thing you can definitely say. And I've got a fucking cut on my leg that I have no idea how I got it. That is really frustrating. Anyway, so driver of the day then in my eyes between Haynes and Cookie Chip. Really good racing between everybody with battles galore. It's a little bit of a flat line now, as it always is sort of at this kind of time. I'm going to just pause to check my battery power, which is still looking shit hot. Should have done it before the race. Bite me for not. And to the max here is catching Cookie Chip saying that. So I will go out on a whim and say my driver of the day as of now is Haynes for his second week in a row. In fact, me people think I'm his fanboy in a minute, like, you know what I mean? But no, Haynes currently is DOTD, driver of the day. But then, of course, you can't overlook VSR Thomas, Bingley as well. They've both put in really stunning races. Robbo and Towley both have had weird weekends. Very quick, but inconsistencies in qualifying. And of course, Towley then being caught a little bit further down than what he would have liked to be in the race, getting through the guys a little bit, taking a little bit longer to get through. And obviously you have the likes of his battle with Haynes, which was a huge battle. Syke has done well though, to keep himself back into the fight. He's done himself a load of justice, as we are running literally just under 4 laps to go from the end. It is literally to the max, Cookie and Haynes, and Syke the closest. Things resembling a battle on track. Obviously you've got to watch out for the Robbo and Towley scrap there. Imagine those two have a battle on lap 33. That'll be remarkable. You can see all the guys have got a nice little groove on the tyres now, beginning to kind of falter a little bit here. It is coming to that stage, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 laps on the medium. Some people will be doing before the end, maybe even more. Obviously the likes of Bingley, and I believe it's Syke, of course, from his wing damage. He was forced into the move. Bingley kind of operated. And VSR Thomas going a little bit wide there. That's not what you really want, especially not with tyre life as it is in this game. Bingley will be looking to near stem home. And guys, this is the first time I've been able just to kind of chill and speak. This season, to be fair, we've not really got much going on at the moment. We're going to get on board with Max on his driver cam until we get round to the final corner, as this is the closest thing resembling a battle at the moment. Cookie Chip's soft tyres will be beginning to squeal with pain. And Matt has really caught Clutchy up here. Will the tyres maintain? He's put 10 seconds on him. 7.5 more to go. There isn't enough laps in the race, but obviously penalties may come into effect. We know Swanee's got one, I believe. I think Smoke's got one, I believe, as well. So that battle could be interesting towards the end too. Swanee, of course, on mediums, which seem to perform better at the end of their life than the softs do, as you can really see with Max and Cookie Chip. I nearly lost my fucking trail of thought then there. But we are running now with 3 laps to go then, and what a season we are having, ladies and gentlemen. We have a new, at the moment as it stands, I mean, you could see both the top 2 blow up, as you see Swanee and Smoke Spaceman there. We're going to get a bit of TV time. Smoke has had a shocking season. Hopefully that will turn around for him. But here we go then. To the max now has DRS, so we do have ourselves a legitimate on-track scrap. As soon as the DRS activates, you know that something's going to be going down big. And hopefully it's as big as what we've seen so far this season. We are sitting, guys, at 10:15 just gone UK time, as we bring you the last 2 laps for the front runners of the Spanish Grand Prix round 5. I will go out on a whim and say Haynes driver of the day due to positions gained. Driver of the day in terms of actual action, I'd say, would be Cookie Chip, but we're going to give it just to Haynes due to the fact that Cookie Chip does have penalties and his tyres are really going off. You have to be so brave and go so long on their medium tyres at the first stint to make the soft work. And look at Matt now, he's on 3 lap pressure tyres. We're not going to go on board with him because we do have a battle on the go here. What a race and what a season. I can't wait for Monaco. I am pumped for it. To drive it, I would rather not. Probably have more success driving a fucking bin lorry. Or a trash lorry, as they say in America. I don't know if they call it bin lorry or trash wagon. I don't know, you can fucking, I don't know, you can let me know. 15 views guys, thank you very much there. I'm learning the art of losing the ability to speak English really well tonight. But to the max now, we're going back on topic. He's all over the back now of Cookie Chip. Johnny Bravo for the 9 seconds down. Matt He's literally there, and Robbo with a penalty as well. Rob with a penalty. He's struggling on his tyres, Rob, tonight. He's not been the same Rob that we usually get. Towley will smell bloody, but he's only got one DRS streak to really go ham on him. So VSR Thomas does have his fuel light on. That's easy to maintain around here. Cookie Chip just literally using all of his ERS down this back straight. It's the smartest strategy, but will it be enough? To the max, we have ourselves a battle, ladies and gentlemen, on lap 33. To the max has got the move done. No, he's not yet. Cookie Chip's still with him. Max moves into 7th position. I don't know whether he knows. It's not important because he's it's not going to matter. But Towley is beginning to catch Robbo. These guys are going to give us potentially a little bit of a ding-dong on the final lap here. But this race has been VSR Thomas's. He came through after Syke. Well, he overtook Syke clean. And ever since then, he's not looked back. What a Grand Prix we have experienced here today. And look at Towley and Robbo. These two. Towley is going hell for leather trying to get the position. But that is not the story as of now. VSR Thomas wins round Spain. What a debut. Syke asked for a McLaren teammate. There's 25 points in the kitty, my man. Bingley, 2nd position. Great drive by Bingley. And look at this here. Towley and Robbo. They're showing off. They planned that. They fucking planned that. Syke in 5th, Haynes 6th. Good driving by those guys. Great race. Unfortunate for Syke with an incident earlier on. We have then to the max. 7th position gets Cookie, who has 9 seconds of penalties. Will Bravo be able to hang it? If he goes into overtake mode now, he might have this. No, he's not. No. He didn't. Johnny Bravo had penalties himself. 6.7 behind at the end there. Clutchy has got the better of Matt. There wasn't. What the fucking yellow flag, sector 1. All the AIs are destroying each other. Clutchy comes across the line there. Matt behind him as well. Ooh, 6/10 of a second away from getting a point. Swanee, he's next in line. Smoke Spaceman spins. What a dismal season he's having. I think he's just let go of the wheel, it seems. Oh dear, that's not good. Swanee, 12th position, no points. Good race by Swanee. I love that. Death and destruction. Smoke Spaceman cruising along now. Such a shame for him. What a race. What a fucking race that was. Smoke just pits in. That's a new way to finish the Grand Prix, guys. Syke's rear left was on 78%. I will go and invite in these guys. I'll open up my party. Obviously straight after I'll be heading off, of course, because I have got an early start tomorrow. So I think I'll be able to bring in Rob and Towley. I'll be able to bring in Thomas. Oh no, it's Bingley, sorry. Bingley and Robbo, forgive me. I'm so used to bringing them two into party, it's just like crazy. So let's have a look then. Robbo is he appearing offline? Bloody hell no, he's all the way down the bottom, fuck's sake. So VSR Thomas claims his first and maiden victory, obviously on his debut. That is the way you go about it. And I'm going to get some commentary experience, which is pretty decent. Happy with that. So there you go then, guys. We have then VSR Thomas claiming his first ever race victory on his debut. Bingley 2nd, Robbo 3rd. We then have Towley, Haynes, Syke. Oh, Haynes got Syke on penalties. I didn't even see that. What a fucking professional commentator I am. To the max, Cookie Chip, Johnny Bravo, Clutchy, and then Matt, Swanee and Smoke Space. Oh my fucking god, get real. Smoke Spaceman, Skillen, and AJ failing to finish. I'm going to start the interviews in a minute, but I forgot to invite Thomas. So that is a problem. So there we go, guys. Just a bit of a mic check for you, Rob and Nick, if you can, please, lads. I think you're both here. Hope. That doesn't. Oh, yep, there you go. We heard a voice, so that's good. That means we have life. Kind of do some filler before Thomas gets here. I'm not sure if he'd be jumping in for the podiums. You'd assume so. There we go. Wow. Awesome. So we have all three guys. Hopefully Thomas includes his audio in a second, and then we'll get cracking on this little interview. Great. Awesome, man. Great result there. Thomas. Nice one there. It feels weird calling you the same first name that I have. It feels like I'm talking to my fucking self. But congratulations on your first win, mate. Talk us through your race.
Thank you. I got a good start. I managed to get past Bingley, which I think is pretty crucial to the race. And then luckily, Syke didn't battle me too hard when I got past him on the first stint. And then towards the end of the first stint, everyone behind me started battling quite a lot, so I was able to build a gap. And then I was just keeping it consistent all the way to the end, and then managed to keep it out the wall.
You were very close in the pit lane. We caught that on stream. That
I was.
Literally come within a millimetre of
I was giving
exploding,
everything.
which would have been quite an
Being up, I was
exciting,
pushing so much.
But I'll tell you what, mate, no, great debut. You didn't win Driver of the Day, unfortunately. I don't know if people put it in the comments, but no. First race, mate. You looking forward to Monaco?
I won't be here, unfortunately.
Oh, well, he's definitely looking forward to Monaco more than everyone else then.
Yep. Yeah, I can't do it.
Interesting.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on. I was literally going to say, but go on, man. What was you going to say? You can't do what, bud?
I just can't do it every weekend. I have to do every other week. So I'll be back for Canada, I think it is.
Oh, that's a track and a half to bloody come back to, man, I tell you. But no,
yeah.
So first race win. You've earned it, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Quick interview tonight. Second position, Bingley. Your race pretty much similar to Thomas's as well for the opening stint. Anyway, talk us through the entirety of it first, please, mate.
Right, I think I got a decent start. Obviously, like kept that first place, and then I was struggling a bit at first, and Thomas managed to get me. Fair play to him. And then obviously had the pace to get past like Zany. Obviously, he didn't put up much of a fight, and then I got stuck behind Syke, which didn't do me any favors. And then I don't think the setup was perfect on tyre wear because I was struggling on that towards both ends of each stints, and I managed to bring it in for second.
Literally bringing it in, mate, and bringing it home, which is what you needed, especially after you've had an absolute piss poor season so far. No offence, especially on your standards, mate. But it's good to get you back on the podium, and hopefully, well, when you try and build momentum, as you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the next track we're going to. So good luck with your fucking momentum. But anyway, mate, good result, and it was a hell of a start of the race. All caught on. It ended up being a 6-car battle for about 2 laps with you guys. But corking one, Bingley, and hopefully we'll speak to you in Monaco. Right, third position. The weirdest weekend you've ever had in any league I've been in with you, Rob. Third, must be a bit of a kick in the teeth, but what happened, mate?
Well, had a really poor qualifying, so started the 5th. Got a good start. I thought I was on the pace of these two in the first stint. In the second stint, I was probably like the 8th quickest driver out there, if that. So, and then at the end, the tyres were horrendous. I don't know why, but they were, I've never seen a medium drop off like that for me on my last stint, on the last 2 laps. It just, I don't know, I couldn't get any power down, and then Tom almost got me at the end there. Like he gained about second half on me,
Yep.
Purely on the last 2 laps, and obviously that penalty at the end didn't help. Didn't help my nerves, because obviously this time in SF1, well, sorry, I'm swearing there, but I binned it in the wall, so I'm 15 points better off than I was on that one. So that's what I can take away from it, is I didn't bin it in the wall like I did last night and the race before that. So I extended the lead to Towley. Obviously he had much more pace than I did, but he also had a poor qualifying, so I had to think about a championship. I knew Thomas obviously just died, so I figured, nah, I'm not too worried about that. And Bingley's had a very good season so far, so I thought, no need to worry about him. It's just worrying about Tom for now.
He does.
And to be fair, guys, what a race. You'll be able to watch that back, of course. It'll be up on YouTube on Tuesday, and of course, driver of the day actually was Haynes. I was going to give it to Cookie, but he had penalties, so Haynes got driver of the day.
What happened to his light?
Result by him.
He just he lost it. He just lost it.
He lost
yeah.
I missed it on stream because I was watching. I was going up and down because there were people literally. There's about 6 battles going on at once, which is so obviously even if we had 6 co-commentators tonight, it would have been an absolute fucking nightmare. But professional swearing on stream, not on Channel 5. Don't worry about it. But I just want to congratulate you three as well before we move on to the plug. We are going to be back Thursday, 8:45. Maybe in F3, probably about 10 o'clock we'll start. But never mind. Moving on. We are going to be at Monaco, so the stream will probably last about 10 minutes. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to the top 3. Congratulations to the... Okay, sorry. Fucking bad. Congratulations to the top 3. Commiserations to AJ and Skillen. Good race from everyone else. Positive back next week. Hola and goodbye.